Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams and welcome to your reading. I am so grateful that you're taking time to tune in to see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Ashe. Thank you, Divine. Yes, peace is coming to you. If you felt restless, or if you felt worried, know that there is peace that's available to you. Just breathe it in. And Spirit says, don't rush. Take your time. Take your time. Yeah, I love messages like that because I like to take my time anyway. So when Spirit reminds me that it's a good idea, I'm like, thank you. Thank you, Divine. Let's start with a Wisdom Oracle card for the overall energy of your reading. Blessed. This came out in, I think, one of the last two readings. Maybe you were doubting that it was for real. Maybe there's somebody who's been trying to make you think that you're something other than blessed. I'm getting that somebody wanted you to feel cursed because they tried to curse you. 144 on the timer. I'm seeing it every time. You're chosen to do a very important job here on this earth. Not only are you blessed, but you are a blessing here on this earth. And there's someone who really doesn't want you to remember that. They know that you know it in your heart of hearts, but they want you to forget that you're a blessing. And this is a being that has worked very hard to curse you. And they're so pissed at this time because all of the curses, all of the dark, slimy energy that they have tried to send you, it's boomeranged. It didn't even touch you. You learned how to do that because there was a time when negative energy did impact you. It did influence you, but you've learned how to work with those frequencies. And there's someone who's very, very scared right now because they know that they've sent a heap of negative energy your way and they see that it's not impacting you. You're winning. And they're like, oh shit. If it didn't hit them, it's gotta go somewhere. This is someone who tried to bypass spiritual law. They didn't even understand spiritual law when they started playing with magic, playing with the occult. But they're learning about spiritual law through experience, and that's the wrong way if you're going to try to hit somebody with dark magic, chaos magic. You don't want to learn that from experience, but that's exactly what they're doing. They're learning a very important lesson too late. And they see that you're blessed. While here on the bottom of the deck, they're experiencing a tower. That's card 16, just like in the tarot. The tower, all that glitters. This person was sending you negative energy because they wanted to fake the funk. They saw that you were blessed. Like for real blessed. You're legit. You're the real deal. But they're all that glitters. And they know they're not gold. You're receiving any blessings that were meant for this person. And the reason for that is that they stole from you. And so Divine is making sure that the scales are balanced. Whatever was stolen from you, it is being restored. All the energy that was siphoned from you at one time, it's being cleansed, renewed, and returned to you. Whatever this person took from you and claimed as their own, whatever it is that they stole from you, they no longer have any access to it. And so they're in a very deep state of poverty, and they're stuck in it. I'm seeing here, you see these masks at the top of that pile of fake gold? That's what that person had, was fake gold, pretending to have what you have. But then they siphoned your energy to get the real thing. But divine justice is at hand. But those masks, they look like something, what's that movie that had Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman? They would wear the masks, and it was about, like, I don't know, orgies and stuff. There's something here about a cult or coven where they would exchange energy with each other in a very distorted and demented way. That's what this person wanted for you. They wanted you to participate in their lasciviousness. And their grimy rituals that never did a damn thing for them. Their rituals didn't work. And they were gross. Their rituals were really disgusting. They crossed boundaries that never should have been crossed. Yeah. This person is going through a tower. This is a part of your justice. This is card 13, which is the death card in the tarot. In this Wisdom Oracle deck, it's called Fork in the Road, and you'll see that there are these arrows directing this being here in a particular direction. Information about this person from your past is coming through because they want to come towards you, whether as themselves or through the energy of someone else. They're trying to make their way back into your world. Divine says that if they attempt this, they will experience only darkness. They'll get lost on the way to you. That may mean something different for each of you, depending on how this resonates with you. But Divine is saying that if they try to approach you, because they have been warned to leave you alone, if they approach you or send someone towards you, they or that person will get lost on their way trying to find you or trying to make their way towards you. There's a little monkey here. It's so cute. Right there. But what that tells me is that this person is suffering from what I call monkey mind, where they can't focus on anything significantly. Like they can't meditate. They can't think cohesive thoughts. They're just all over the place. They're frantic. Their mind is like a big frenzy. It's just a bunch of scrambled thoughts. We're in minute 10. So this cycle is over, 10:10 on the timer, but they don't want to accept that it's over. There's an owl here, and that represents the wise guidance that this person has received to leave you alone, but they're obsessed. They know that you hold the energy that they desire, and so they're fixated on your energy. Okay, they said that's it for that. Go to the archetype deck. All right. Servant and Mystic. This is your energy. You are a servant to the Most High, to the Divine, to God, Goddess, okay? However it resonates with you. Whatever resonates with you, to Universe. But you are a very mystical being. Regarding dimensions, you have no limitations. You go from the 3rd to the 4th to the 5th to the 6th to the 7th. You traverse beyond realms like you're on the metro, like you're on the subway and you're just going. Like, you know, it's you just go. You just get there. And this is your way. This is a part of your divine gift. But as you move between realms, you gather information, you experience things, you connect with certain beings, 1212 on the timer. These beings teach you things, they show you things. You walk with energies from the past in the present and that exist in the future. Like there's no time when you astral travel, because we know that time doesn't really exist, you know. It's just a thing meant to bottle us up here and limit us, but you love to live your life in a way that doesn't know time. I feel like that's why Divine said at the beginning of this reading, don't rush. Because I'm looking at my Saturn poster, the timekeeper. You know, you're beyond time. You're beyond time. You're beyond the limits that time puts on you. Yeah, I said the timekeeper, but it's the taskmaster, isn't it? Either one, that's how I'm seeing Saturn right now. Timekeeper, taskmaster. Whatever it is that tries to limit you regarding time or tasks, you're beyond it. And so there's something, whether it's a job or a person or even a desire that you have. You know, sometimes we have a desire to gain more things or to have more or to get more done. And that desire can actually limit us. So Divine is saying to not allow yourself to be limited by time, by space. Where you are, 1414 on the timer. Oh, yeah. Your true place is a place of temperance, balance, patience with yourself. That's where you're happiest, because that's truly you. There's something that you're meant to do on your path here as a servant. Look at that. Look what's sticking up right there. Thief. But somebody wants to take that ability away from you to serve. As a mystical being, as a divine mystical being who's here to do your soul's work. They don't want you thinking about your truth. They don't want you thinking about what you're here to do. They want you to feel bottled up. They want you to feel bound by time and by tasks. This goes back to that all that glitter situation. There's somebody who really wants you bound. I'm hearing the word corruption. This person wants to corrupt you. They want to tempt you, but I'm also getting that there's nothing that this person has that you want. They're planning something for you based on an old timeline. You're not there anymore. You're not the same person that you used to be, where perhaps you would have been tempted by all that fool's gold. You know? But now you know the real stuff from the fake stuff. And just like Biggie said, no time for fake ones. Just sip some Cristal with these real ones. From East to West Coast, spread love, son. You're only spending time doing what feels real to you. What feels real to you. What you know is true. Okay. We've got Child Eternal, God, Mother, Orphan. So this theme has been coming through to me. The same person who was trying to tempt you with sexual energy wanted access to either your child or a child in your community, or children in your community, or children around you or close to you. You may have noticed that this person, who was in a coven, by the way, and this coven supported cruelty to children. This coven supported trafficking. You may have noticed that this person or someone associated with them that perhaps you suspected was also in this coven. They were. I'm speaking in the past tense because for a lot of you, depending on where you are on the timeline, this coven is being dismantled by the divine. They're not able to do the certain things, the disgusting, evil, vile things that they've been doing, because everything has been put on hold. And they're going through a huge time of exposure. We're in minute 19. That's the Sun card. A lot about this coven, this cult, is being exposed at this time. So a lot of the people associated with it are frozen. And when I just said frozen, what I'm getting is that bank accounts are being frozen. So a lot of their resources are on hold. But you may have noticed that whoever this being was who has been trying so hard to gain access to you, either they or they, as well as other members of this coven, tried to access or gain access to your child if you are a parent. This is because for those of you for whom this message resonates, you have a child who is truly divine and chosen, just like you. Confirmation. You have a child or children. Some of you have several children who are chosen. They walk very, very closely with the divine. This coven, this cult, recognizes their divine energy and they wanted to access it. You may have noticed that they tried on an occasion or several occasions to be alone with your child. Now, I want you to know that your child is also divinely protected. Not only are they chosen, but because they are chosen, they are also divinely protected. If you feel a need to talk with your child about anything that they have noticed or observed, then follow your intuition. But what I will tell you is that your child and your children are divinely protected. This message is not coming to you in order to bring a sense of panic or anxiety, but simply a confirmation to complement your awareness. Things that you've already been tapping into and tuning into and feeling and sensing. So that you remember that, no, you're not crazy. So that you realize that, yes, what you're picking up on is absolutely true. Let's look into this more. Okay, saying this one. Thank you, Divine. What's coming through to, we've got a lover here and a Leo. There could be someone here who has tried to present themselves to you as a lover who has significant Leo energy in their chart. Or they may have just simply embodied the energy of a Leo. I'm getting that they attract attention. But if this is a false person, because that's what's coming through, then this wasn't like the natural, beautiful sun energy of a Leo. This was fake. They were faking this Leo energy. It wasn't truly divine. It's the way that they were trying to attract you by using glamour magic. Also, I'm getting that there's a Leo behind the scenes that was working with this coven to try to attract your lover energy. So, doing love spells. Tell us more about this, Spirit. Yeah, this cult is headed by a narcissist, or that's the main player. That's the person who is still very driven to gain access to your energy. They are a covert or a malignant narcissist. They work sort of undercover in the shadows, behind the scenes. They're very vulnerable at heart, but they'll never let people know that. They're in need of healing, recovery, and mending. But they go about it in the wrong way. They've always been reaching out to you for your divine energy, but they have not sought it in the right way. They've tried to siphon it. Behind the scenes, they're a witchy sister. Performing rituals of chaos magic. They see you as a deity, as a divine being. Tell us more about this child situation, Divine. Okay, we've got Aquarius and Sagittarius here. There could be someone in this cult that is an Aquarius or a Sagittarius, or who has those energies highly aspected in their charts. They have sought the energy of you and potentially your child if you are a parent, because they see your contentment. They adore your lifestyle, but These aren't the type of people who adore a person's lifestyle and try to befriend them and understand how they live and get tips and work with them. As soon as they see someone who's living well, like you, they try to steal from them. They know your child's, and I'm being guided now to focus on the child situation. If that does not resonate with you, then you can apply this to you, okay? Because it really is very similar. But for those of you who are parents, this is definitely coming through. So you can apply this information either to your child or you, because their goal was very similar for the both of you. But they know your or your child's spiritual rank. They understand very clearly that you walk closely with the divine, that you're both chosen. These people have worked in cahoots with one another to try to steal your energy and to try to, I'm hearing, get alone with your child. They may have, let's say if they have children, they may have been a little pushy. You know, you may have noticed this, like they're pushy to invite your child over for a sleepover or to encourage them to come inside their home, which as a parent, you have to decide what you're comfortable with as far as boundaries regarding your child visiting other homes. But, you know, I know for me, there are only a very select few people that I'm comfortable with my child going into their home, you know. But they may have been very pushy, like, oh yeah, come over for, you know, whatever, a sleepover or whatever. Okay, this person is completely disingenuous. All of the cult members that you have met that work together, and they all work together. Okay, this could be a group of people in your neighborhood. This could be a group of people within your church. I'm going to say church because if these people are in a church, then that church is a front for trafficking. Okay? Whatever group this is and however you know them, however it is that you're associated with them, it's a front for child sacrifice and for, what is the spirit? For trafficking. All of the cult members are disingenuous. They're not who they say they are. They're not about what they say they're about. They wanted you in a third wheel situation. So they wanted access to your child and their energy, and they wanted you in a third wheel, third party situation. There's something about this cult, this organization, that has been elevated to the legal authorities. Okay? So there are law authorities that are aware of something regarding this organization. Okay? Yeah. Knowledge. They're studying this group. They're following them. They're looking into their connections with other organizations, other trafficking rings. And Divine says that what lies behind the scenes of what these people do is absolutely shocking. They have always seen you as the ultimate sacrifice because you are compassionate, you are a sweetheart. That's how they see you. Your energy is beautiful, it's radiant, and you and your seed walk closely with the divine. That's why they want you, because you have, I'm hearing prime energy. Prime energy. That might be something that someone in this organization says about you, or about people who like you are chosen. There's somebody in this group that feels like a beta. This is someone who was, I'm hearing, coerced into joining the group. 30-30 on the timer. They were coerced into joining the group. They really were not excited about joining the group, but I'm getting that someone close to them, this could be a spouse, this could be a sibling, this could be a friend, coerced them into joining the group. So there is somebody in this group who really wasn't down with it, but you know, that doesn't mean they're innocent, because everyone in this cult is grown, other than the children that they have harmed and forced into some sort of activity. Oh, 3113. That they forced into this organization, or to participate in some sort of ritual. This person, although they're beta, and although they never wanted to join this group, they were coerced into joining, they are certainly not innocent. Not making a choice is making a choice. Also, the people in this group were hoping that you would be a beta. They were hoping that you would just go along with what they coerced you to do, through spell work, through bullying, through gang stalking, gossiping. I'm seeing people follow you. If you felt like you were being followed, you were. They were hoping that you'd be a beta because you're a sweetheart, but they had it so twisted. They thought that your kindness meant that you were ignorant, but they have learned quite the contrary. Yeah, they have done so much binding work. They are dizzy. I'm hearing that they're dizzy from all the work they've put on you, that they've tried to send your way. 3232 on the timer. They have repeated these spells over and over and over and over again. The practitioners that they hired have experienced so much karma that they're now after these people, especially the lead person that went after all of these practitioners. The narcissist, the head narcissist, could be male, female, non-binary. Gender does not matter. Whatever their gender, they're crazy, because they thought that they could bind you to them in order to constantly have access to your energy. I'm seeing like a straw. Like they wanted, I'm hearing, my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Okay. They wanted a constant flow of your energy, and they got so tired of trying to gain access to you through gossip, through, you know, all the narcissistic tactics, gaslighting, following you, stalking you, that they attempted to bind you energetically so that they wouldn't have to do any work. They thought this would work on you, but it didn't. It's game over for them. It's game over for them. Divine is bringing through that if this is something that you're currently going through, because with game over, I'm like, I feel like for the majority of you watching this, if this resonates with you, it really is game over. But this might be confirmation for you. These people trying to gain access to your child, or to you, if your child was ever around any of these people, they may have experienced headache or something where they just felt different when they were around them, where you may have suspected spell work being directed towards them. It absolutely was. However, The energetic protection around your child and around you is so strong that that is why your child is safe. The connection that you share with your ancestors, they were never going to let anything happen to your child beyond just enough to let you know what was going on. Okay? Yeah, they were trying to steal from you. Steal your energy, steal your information. I'm getting technology. Like they wanted to access your devices and your coins. Look at that. He's holding a coin. So this person wanted your wealth. They stalk. They stalk because they're scared. That's the only reason anybody ever stalks. It's because they're too scared to confront you and say what they want to say to you. So they are ridiculous and afraid, and they live in the shadows, and they try to scare you and creep you out by stalking you, but all they're doing is revealing their true nature, that they are insecure, scared, and they have to hide behind some illegal activity in order to try to control you. Illegal activity and weird ass, chaotic ass spell work that only results in a fail for them, ultimately. You're here, living in peace and harmony, expressing your true creative nature and imagination. And there are people in this group that their health is suffering. I'm getting that because of the nature of the types of rituals that they did, they are in very poor health due to STDs. And these aren't just like, I'm not getting like chlamydia, gonorrhea, like the things that can get cleared up. I'm getting like the things that never go away. Things that never go away. And that's what they wanted for you. I'm getting that there's someone in this group who has known for a very long time that they have been ill regarding an STD. And their goal was to tempt you by binding you with a love spell. And they wanted to infect you. That was their plan for you. They wanted to infect you. When I say that this group is completely vile, they're completely vile. What's coming through these cards, Spirit? What else do you want this beautiful being to be aware of? Yeah, these people are very miserable, and that's all they ever wanted for you was misery. But you're blessed and you're chosen, so that'll never be the case. Yeah, they attack children because they want their innocent, pure energy. And every single person in this group that has ever laid a dirty hand on an innocent child or on any child, because all children are innocent, they are going to feel like they are spending the rest of their life here on earth in hell. Each and every person in this cult or in any organization that chooses to target and harm children, they are going to receive the worst karma that there ever is, because there are energies and entities that roam this earth that detest this type of vile behavior that is directed towards children. And we are in a time now, cosmically, where it is time for these energies to pay. It is time for these beings who target children to pay. You see it in the news. It's not just happening in the news. That is just a representation of what's happening with people who walk this earth and that we see each and every day. That perhaps some people do not suspect are doing these things behind the scenes. But their time has come, as we all must be responsible for our behavior. Because a lot of us aren't out here doing that, but, you know, we may have done something, so we all have to be held accountable. But the divine has said enough is enough. Yeah, pay attention to health. Pay attention to your health. And this is because there are people around you who are very sick, both physically and spiritually. If you have not relocated from this area, which I'm not getting that you have to. Yeah, divine says you can stand tall where you are. Just be aware. Speak protection, invoke protection over you and yours, specifically over your children. And you can stand tall where you are, but pay attention to your health, because there is someone who's trying to target you, and they want to target your health because they feel that they were unable to impact you spiritually. They were unable to impact you significantly financially. For some of you, they may have gotten to your finances, but for 111, you are protected, and all of your new beginnings are protected, Ashe. But awareness is necessary. Do not allow anyone to access your sacral energy, your sexual energy, unless it is something that you have discerned to be for you and safe. And if it's with anyone regarding this group or involved in this group, 4141 on the timer, divine says no, because your health is too precious. And they know it. Yeah, these people have secrets. Secrets that they're trying to take to the grave, but they're coming out. They regret not choosing you. They're sick to their stomach. There's somebody in this group who was supposed to choose you, but they were supposed to be good to you. And instead of choosing you, they betrayed you. Well, they're sick to their stomach, so they're reminded of their poor choice every day. Oh, this is, I wanna run to you, ooh, but if I come to you, ooh, tell me, will you stay, or will you run away? Okay, so that's Whitney Houston from The Bodyguard, which I feel like Bodyguard is significant here because you are divinely protected. But also there's somebody from this group who wants to approach you, but they're wondering, how are you going to react? How are you going to react? They want to run to you. They want to run to you for your spiritual protection. They want to run to you because you were the best thing that they ever encountered, and they fumbled their opportunity to experience healing with you, to experience divine love with you, which is what you radiate. It's what you emanate. It's who you are. What's the guidance here, divine, for this beautiful being? Yeah, walk away. Walk away. Do not entertain anyone from this group, because they have proven themselves over and over, time and time again, to be honestly a lost cause. And I hate to say that, but if they are going to be rescued, they're going to have to rescue themselves. And in the hot mess that they've gotten themselves in, there really is no way for them to move forward. They have condemned themselves. They have bound themselves to where they were trying to bind you. They have bound themselves to hot mess energy, demonic energy, for at least the next few lifetimes. They're going to have to work through this just to have some sanity. That was their choice. But this is not the answer for them. That's not the answer for them. Beautiful being, let's see what's coming through for you. Let's get a word from Archangel Michael. Your prayers are being answered. So whatever it is that you are focusing on at this time, there is no one, absolutely no one, who can stand between you and your divine manifestations. Not this nonsense, not anyone involved in this cult, in this coven, not anyone who was targeting you, not anyone who was targeting your child. You are divinely blessed and divinely protected, and all of your prayers are being answered. Your prayers are being received by the divine. Answers will come soon, and perhaps in ways that you didn't expect. So just know that the very best manifestation possible is unfolding for you. And some of the things that you asked for, they're going to be delivered to you, but in a way that you didn't even expect. But it's because your divine ancestors and spirit allies know what's best for you, that it's going to come to you in perhaps an unexpected way, but a beautiful way. It's almost over. This is card 16. Your current challenges will soon be resolved, and you'll be able to look to the future with a smile. Look, this is some heavy stuff. These are heavy things that you have experienced, and Divine knows that. Divine is blessing you with so many opportunities, with so many wonderful, yes, with strength. You're being blessed with divine strength. And so is your legacy. What else is coming to this beautiful being? Hope. Please don't lose hope, because there's no reason to lose it. The people that you encountered, they're now a part of your awareness, because there's something about this organization, this trafficking ring, this type of harm that's been done to people that you were meant to become aware of, so that in some way you can bring justice. It might be in just helping a person. Maybe one day you'll meet somebody who's been trafficked, and because of this experience, or maybe one day you'll meet someone else who's been gang stalked, and because of this experience you will be able to help them like no one else could, because you've lived through this, or you have encountered this type of energy so closely that you know it, you understand it. Perhaps you'll work as a counselor to help people through this type of energy that they've experienced, because it really is horrendous, and you already know that. I don't have to tell you that. Hope is the light in the darkness. Never extinguish it. Yeah, your hope will never be extinguished, just like your light will never be extinguished. Understanding. Yeah, you have an abundance of understanding, and you live in abundance. Your understanding is a part of your healing energy. That's something that allows you to connect with people on such a deep level, where you're able to understand what they've been through and what they feel. You have compassion, and Divine wants you to know that you rest in a place of safety. Okay? Have confidence as you move forward. Treat yourself really well. Treat yourself as the divine being that you are. Okay? Because there are people who want you to treat yourself differently, but you won't. You know who you are. You've been through a mass awakening, and mass awakening, you're helping to ignite an awakening in a lot of people. Release what doesn't serve you. You're discovering balance. You're achieving balance in your life because of all of the hardship that you've been through. Thank you so much for tuning in, beautiful being. I hope that this reading brought you exactly what you needed, the clarity, the comfort, the insight, and the confirmation that you needed. I love you, and I wish you peace, I wish you joy, and so many blessings. Take care.